There's a bombshell report that accuses New York Governor Andrew Cuomo of sexual harassment. Letitia James has done it again. She's a boss. If you recall, when women started coming out and accusing Andrew Cuomo of inappropriate sexual misconduct and sexual harassment in a toxic workplace that he had created for them, Andrew Cuomo basically said, one, I'm Italian. I'm just Italian. These things happen. I'm a fucking Italian. What are you going to do about it? And then said, let's wait until this investigation is conducted. All right, let's wait. Well, guess what? Investigation is conducted, and it turns out there's misconduct. So we're going to get to Andrew Cuomo's insane defense. But before, let's, this will give you a good refresher on what's going on.
Begin with a growing pressure on New York's Governor Andrew Cuomo to resign after a long-awaited report detailing numerous allegations of sexual harassment. Cuomo continues to deny that he intentionally did anything wrong. Investigators allege he sexually harassed 11 women, many of them young, and retaliated against at least one staffer who came forward. Now, the accusations include unwelcome and non-consensual touching, offensive remarks, and sexual comments. Our national correspondent, that's Jerika Duncan, has been following this story for months and joins us from Albany, as you know, the state capital of New York. Jerika, good morning to you. A lot of people want the governor to step down, including President Biden, but he seems to be double.
Bro, when the groper in chief himself, Groper Andy, when he's the one saying like, you got to cut the shit, Jack. You got to step down, Jack. It's like, you've gobbled your last ghoul. I mean, Joe Biden is literally the king of non-consensual touch. And ironically, Joe Biden's defense for all of his non-consensual touching was nearly identical to Andrew Cuomo's defense for non-consensual touching. Of course, Joe Biden didn't say like, I'm Italian, Jack, like Andrew Cuomo did, but he basically said the same thing. He was like, I touch everybody. I'm old, Jack. Sometimes I cut the malarkey, other times the malarkey cuts me. But what's consistent is I'm kissing boys and girls. So, that's Joe Biden.
The explosive 165-page report, based on interviews with 179 people, alleges New York Governor Andrew Cuomo created a hostile work environment for women.
The independent investigation found that.
By the way, he even groped and inappropriately touched fucking state troopers, dude. To understand the extent of like Andrew Cuomo's, modus operandi and the way that he behaved, like nobody was safe. I mean, he's like touching state troopers on the job, allegedly, putting his finger up and down their body and being like, oh, you probably have a good fucking sex drive, eh? Come on, yes. He groped cops? What's he doing? Trying to take their job? That's what I'm saying. In like New York, it's like, that's crazy, dude.
11 women came forward, and investigators say they found all of them credible, including a New York State trooper who worked on Cuomo's security detail. The report says he sexually harassed her on a number of occasions by running his hand across her stomach from her belly button to her hip, running his finger down her back, and making sexually suggestive comments.
By the way, some of these are civil, right? Like the scope of this is civil for the most part, with the exception of one staffer that made claims that she was groped in the governor's mansion, which is now escalated to a criminal charge, which will be where there will be a separate criminal investigation launched onto it as well.
I want you to know directly from me that I never touched anyone inappropriately or made inappropriate sexual advances.
In a pre-recorded statement, the governor defended himself against all of the allegations.
The facts are much different than what has been portrayed.
The governor also showed photos hugging and kissing people of all genders, claiming...
Bro, come on. You're not going to play it, dude? Come on. Okay, boys. The most psychotic part about this entire process is his compilation. His defense features 85 instances of him, like, fucking kissing people and groping people. Like, that's his defense. His defense is like, when you're accused of sexual misconduct, a thing you probably shouldn't do is put together a fucking fan cam of you groping other people and kissing other people. Because guess what? I don't think it's a fucking viable defense to just be like, well, I do this to everybody. All right, so let's take a look.
I do it with everyone. Black and white, young and old, straight and LGBTQ, powerful people.
Yeah, put Bill Clinton in the compy, dude. That's a great asset, you know? I was fucking there. I was doing it to the other guys who were doing it to other guys. You know what I'm saying?
Friends, strangers, people who I meet on the street.
I love this. Greatest defense of all time. Foolproof. Foolproof. It's like, I'm sorry, officer. I know, Your Honor, I know you fucking arrested me and now I'm in court for assault with a deadly weapon. But what you gotta understand, what you failed to mention here, is that I'm assaulting everybody with deadly weapons. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm punching people left and right over here. You fucking kidding me? And it's, oh, this was in his defense, in his like actual written defense, he added Barack Obama kissing people and hugging people, and George W. Bush hugging people, including Katrina victims, dude. This is one of the most incredible defenses. He even put his father, Mario Cuomo, kissing and cuddling people to show he's not a harasser. My father kissed people all the time, too. It's like, dude, let me say something, okay? Just because you kissed people consensually, like 90% of the time, which we don't even fucking know, aside from the fact that, like, it's probably not the best defense to be like, what do you mean? Look at all these times that I consensually did this thing, right? Or I do this to everybody. Like, aside from the fact that that's, like, not a fucking reasonable defense. Like, saying that you have followed the law in other instances, except for this one where you like didn't, is fucking insane. Your Honor, think about all the times that I didn't rob a bank. Here's a photo of me inside the bank. I'm taking money out. I'm taking money out over here. I'm going to banks all the fucking time, and I'm not robbing them, right? Why are you gonna tell me this one time I robbed a fucking bank over here? Like, you gonna fucking give me shit about this? Come on. It's like, okay, great. So that was a cool thing that he did there. But let's continue.
That's how he conveys warmth.
I now understand that there are generational or cultural perspectives that, frankly, I hadn't fully appreciated. And I have learned from this.
The New York Attorney General said multiple times today that she believes you and the other women mentioned in this report. What does that mean to you?
It was extremely validating, and I feel vindicated. It's been a long day, but I'm proud to be a New Yorker right now.
The governor said today that he accepts responsibility and that he's making changes. Do you believe him?
Accepting responsibility means stepping down. And not only is he not stepping down, but he's outright denying the things that he did. So,
dude, that's the wildest thing is, like, he just kicked the can down the road, right? Originally, when he was called out, he's like, come on, let's wait till the investigation is concluded. And now that the investigation is concluded and found him fucking engaging in a boatload of misconduct, now he's like, just kidding. I'm still not retiring, bitch. I don't give a fuck. Nobody can take me off this fucking chair. If you want to take me off the governor's mansion, you're going to have to rip me out of this fucking house, all right? You know how many times I've had meatballs in here? You know how many fucking meatball dinners I've had in here, motherfucker? I will never leave, all right? I will never leave. I'll stick to the fucking walls like pasta.
They also found that that the governor and his aides created a toxic work environment that enabled sexual harassment. Is that consistent with what you experienced?
it's extremely consistent, and I think the environment of fear, the environment of humiliation, the idea that at any moment you feel like you could either lose your job or get screamed at, or, you know, it was traumatic on its own. So when the most powerful person in the office and also the most powerful person in the state acts inappropriately, you think, why would anyone take that seriously or think that I deserve any respect in this office?
Going to be an interesting situation for the governor now, who seems not ready to resign at this point.
No, but it's such.
I loved it. Not ready to resign at this point. I'm not ready. I'm not fucking ready to resign.
A steady drumbeat of calls to resign. That's why I'm curious to see how all this.
Sounds like someone was unhappy with his politics and using these women to attack him, in my opinion. Dude, you are out of your fucking mind if you think that, like, people in the Democratic Party were upset with Andrew Cuomo. He's a staple, dude. He was regarded as a legend during COVID, despite his mishandling of COVID, despite the many years of austerity that he fucking forced upon New York State in the most, like, Republican style administration that he has had, like the full control that he's had over New York State. And all of the Medicaid funding that he cut out that actually made it so that there was no healthcare infrastructure for poor communities, specifically communities of color. And that was a big part of the reason why they were devastated, absolutely devastated by COVID, despite the fact that he also utilized like prison labor throughout the duration. All of that still did not actually hit him at all. The Democratic Party liked Andrew Cuomo. The Democratic Party voters liked Andrew Cuomo. He won an international Emmy for his incredible work, incredible in air quotes, throughout COVID. So no, what ended up happening is because he was probably getting attacked, people finally, for the first time ever, felt like this was an opportunity where their voices would be heard. That's it. In the aftermath of the COVID mishandling coming to light, I think people probably recognize that this is a good opportunity where if they come out and speak out against Cuomo, like people will actually hear them and it won't fall on deaf ears. Now, to give you a better understanding, to capture the essence of like how much people love Andrew Cuomo, a lot of this stuff I covered over on the podcast too, so definitely check that out on Fear and Malding. I want to capture a moment in time. I want to show you guys exactly how much people, especially liberals, loved Andrew Cuomo. Let's watch this. I'm just gonna give you a trigger warning. This will turn you into a conservative. Okay, this is like extreme liberalism. It's going to hurt you. I'm letting you know.
There was a pandemic long before it was called a pandemic. All you had to do is look at other countries.
Stranded in my bedroom. No one to love. Then there he is.
Let us give you an update as to where we are today.
My favorite guy. He's the earth and heaven to you. Try and keep it hidden. Honey, we can see right through you. Andy, can't you see I'm in quarantine? A nervous wreck and skirt as heck of COVID-19. You're not nice coronavirus, but you bring hope.
This is the most irresponsible thing I've ever done. I feel like this is probably the largest like LG community. Okay, this is the largest like queer community, one of the largest queer communities on the internet. And now all of you are homophobic. So I apologize for this agitprop. This is like, he did one for Christopher Cuomo. Shut the fuck up. Are you serious? I'm going to sue you for psychological assault. Dude, it's not even done yet. Hold on. The worst part's about to come.
From now on, I identify as homosexual.
That's it. I wanted you to feel that. Liberalism is incredible. Now, why did Rainbow Randy do this? Or is it Randy Rainbow? Why did Randy Rainbow do this? Well, one, fucking 2.4 million views, obviously. That doesn't hurt. But there was a time and place where we just praised every single person that was against Donald Trump. And we would uplift them. Like, we would uplift anyone as long as they're, like, against Donald Trump. Including, like, fucking horrible monsters, right? For fuck's sake, people thought John Bolton was, like, the resistance. George W. Bush. War criminal. The reason why I'm playing this is because a lot of you started watching me during COVID, and perhaps you heard me take fat doo-doos on Andrew Cuomo throughout that entire process. And when you originally came into this community, you probably thought, wow, dude, this Hasan guy, is he like a fucking conservative or something? Like, he just keeps shitting on Andrew Cuomo. Like, why? I don't understand. Like, well, he's great. The media is telling me he's great. My parents love him. What the fuck? What are you, a reactionary or some shit? Like, why are you constantly fucking shitting on Cuomo? Because around when this first came out, he was fucking, my man was riding the high, you know what I mean? And I'm sure Randy Rainbow probably doesn't feel this way about Andrew Cuomo anymore. But the reason why I showed this to you is because I wanted to just say that I was right. And all of you that thought he was fucking hot shit were wrong. And that you should trust my judgment a little bit more. And not only that, but also I'm always right. And that's pretty much it, actually. That's all I was going to say. There's a lot to criticize him on even before the numerous sexual harassment accusations. So that's where we're at. Like, this captures the moment in time when like liberals had fucking lost their minds, and every single person basically was saying that like, as long as you're standing against Donald Trump, you're a fucking hero. And that's it. This was how much they loved him. And I wanted to show this to you because now over half of New York Assembly wants to oust Cuomo if he doesn't quit. I mean, he was a He's always been a fucking demon, but it kind of shows you how much the media can absolutely season the way that people see particular politicians. And it's an important lesson to remember always. Like, it's not about how the fucking media approves of you and how the media chooses to show you. It's more so about like what actions you have taken. You want to tell me that video wasn't satire? No, like that person loved Andrew Cuomo. So many people did. So many fucking people did at the time. If he doesn't actually resign, then he will get ousted most likely. I don't know the exact legal process that would take for him to get ousted, but I guess the State Assembly Judiciary Committee is currently conducting an ongoing investigation into the numerous different allegations against Governor Cuomo, including but not limited to the sexual harassment allegations already substantiated by Letitia James's report. The Assembly's investigation is not required by law, but they're doing it to inform the drafting of articles of impeachment. The Assembly then must vote in support or against the impeachment. Only a simple majority vote is required for impeachment process to move on to the Senate. And then the impeachment case would proceed to a trial by the High Court of Impeachment, which is legally comprised of the full state Senate minus our majority leader, plus the 7 judges on the Court of Appeals, the highest court in our state. Our Senate majority leader by law, the New York State Constitution, cannot cast her vote in the impeachment trial due to the line of succession. If Cuomo were ultimately impeached, the lieutenant governor would temporarily serve in the position of governor and the majority leader as acting lieutenant governor. So there is a line here where they can expeditiously impeach Cuomo from this office if he refuses to fucking leave. They can pry this office out of his goddamn hands. This can happen. And by God, it should. Okay? That's my take on the subject, folks. That's what I believe. Bet you Miss Giuliani now, punk. I think Giuliani is actually defending Cuomo, so that's when you know you fucked up big time. When Rudolph Giuliani is like, people are being too fucking harsh on this guy. That's when you know you have absolutely fucked up. Let me see. I think I saw something. Yeah. Rudy Giuliani criticized Andrew Cuomo's treatment, comparing his sexual harassment allegations to those against Donald Trump. Also, Rudy was not governor, but it doesn't matter. I mean, so that's where we're at with the Andrew Cuomo saga. Be careful who you love and how you love them, because, that'll come back and bite you in the fucking ass. You always should conduct more careful analysis on, like, even if you didn't know who Andrew Cuomo was, or even if you didn't know he was a fucking asshole, even if you could not have predicted that he was gropey as hell, you should still remember always that, he was a gigantic piece of shit with his reactionary policies that actually harmed a lot of people, even much before that. Yeah. Do you think Cuomo will flip sides after this? No, I mean, I think he's done. So wait, I want to hear what Mayor de Blasio has to say, though.
Is among those who are,
because this also talks about the vaccine mandate in New York. New York is the first major city that is going to have a vaccine mandate.
Resignation.